How much money does a newly monetized YouTube channel make in 2024? If you were familiar with my work before this YouTube channel, you're probably aware that I sell my work at a lot of artist alleys and conventions. This is how I was making my living. I was doing about 25 different events a year. Now, super fun times, however, my bones are getting real tired and I'm getting lazier by the day, I tell you what. No lie, on cap, no God. As you might be able to tell, 1 foot in the grave. And your boy just doesn't like talking to people very much anymore. And I was like, how can I make lots of money and never leave my house? I have a great idea. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. That'll be easy, right? I thought, I don't even know how to do video editing, but I know how to Google things. That's like knowing any skill, right? I'm not camera shy. That's not a problem. We'll just get over it. I'm gonna have a great time, is what I thought to myself. But money softens any blow. So how high did those stacks go from a newly monetized YouTube channel? Now, this was a lot more work than I had expected. However, my only goal for the year was to get monetized by the end of 2023. Now, we started out of the gate not doing so great. I thought because I had an established following over on Instagram and Twitter that, a ton of people would pour in and be really into my videos right away. My first video that I had uploaded got about 1,000 views in the first day, and I felt like this was a pretty good success considering I only had 300 subscribers at the time. I uploaded 2 other videos that I thought were bangers, but didn't do all that well in the meantime. We were unable to really grow at any meaningful pace until about June of that year. But then I uploaded this enamel pin video in June of 2023. And right out of the gate, this video did really well. YouTube seemed to really like it, and it just pushed it in the algorithm and suggested it to a ton of new people. And up until this point, we were really far away from getting monetized. So YouTube monetization, let's talk about that for a little context. There's 2 major requirements. The first one is you need 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel to be considered for monetization. The second requirement that I think is a little bit more difficult is 4,000 watch hours over the course of 365 days across your channel. Now, my major goal last year was just to get monetized. I started my channel around late February of last year. That's when I uploaded my first serious video to the channel with the goal of getting monetized by the end of the year. So I'm happy to say we were able to hit that goal in June of last year. So the way that YouTube pays you is through AdSense. So once you are monetized, YouTube will put ads in the beginning and the end of your video, and sometimes even in the mid-roll, depending on how long your video is. And those advertisers will pay YouTube, and then YouTube will pay you. So that's what AdSense is, and when people say that their channel is monetized, that's primarily what they're talking about. Throughout the year, I was able to grow my following by 26,000 subscribers and make a revenue of $3,445. I posted my first video on February 28th, 2023, so a little over a year. It's been about 14 months. I was a little late on this video, sorry for the title. But as you can see, I didn't really start gaining traction until around June when I posted this enamel pin video. This video is actually what started to take off, and subsequently, a lot of my older videos started doing well and picking up in the YouTube algorithm after that. We got to the 1,000 subscriber mark around May of last year, so we hit that first, but I was struggling to get the 4,000 watch hours. After that video took off, we hit the 4,000 watch hours pretty quickly, but you don't get monetized right away. You're just eligible to apply. So I applied immediately, and it took about 2 weeks to process and approve everything. So during that time, the bulk of those views weren't monetized, so I didn't get paid for them. I'm a little sad about. Would have been nice to get a couple $100 more out of YouTube, but overall, through the year, I think we did okay. And then my original first video, which is actually my most viewed video on this channel at this point, also started getting a lot of views at this time. You will see that it sat at about 3,000 views until about day 120, and then started blowing up. And I attribute that to that enamel pin video doing really well out of the gate and then pushing more people to my other videos. So I guess YouTube saw that people were clicking on this video after that one and being like, oh, it's getting really good engagement all of a sudden, and then it pushed it in their algorithm. It just wasn't getting enough engagement to let YouTube know if like people were interested in it or not. So it took a couple videos to get there over the course of a few months. If we go and look at revenue, you can see that I was making no money until July 17th. Now, AdSense isn't the only way that people make money through YouTube. So the majority of us already know about sponsorships and brand deals, and I was very surprised to see how many people reached out to me even though my channel was super small throughout the year. The types of companies that reached out to me, I would categorize in 3 different ways. The first one I would say are more scammy spam bots, and I was super surprised at how many of these were able to find my information, especially with us being a smaller channel that's very new. I get 5 or 6 of these a week that are trying to get me to click on their link or do something that seems super sketchy and definitely doesn't seem like a legitimate sponsorship opportunity. The second one is companies that want to do a product trade, essentially. So they want you to promote their product for you to get free product. Now, I know with some of these, depending on how much engagement your videos get, it goes from free product to like a smaller payment to a bigger payment, and it scales depending on how popular of a YouTuber you are. And I will say I got a lot of companies that were offering really cool products, but I just didn't feel right about doing a sponsorship that wasn't paid. It takes a lot of work to do editing and all this other stuff, and then they have very specific requirements. So even if, a company reached out with a product that I thought was a really good fit for the channel, I declined all of them. And if there's something that I use in my art business that I feel is super important, I've probably mentioned it in a YouTube video anyways and didn't need somebody to sponsor me to tell you guys about it. And now the third thing is people who were actually willing to pay me to promote their product or their service. Now, obviously, this is where I'm going to be a lot more open to taking on these types of sponsorship opportunities, as again, making these videos is a lot of work, and then adding more editing to promote something unrelated to the video is going to be extra work on top of that. However, everybody who reached out, who was actually willing to pay me to promote their thing, I didn't feel was a super good fit for the video, or they weren't offering me as much as I thought my time was worth. But as of today, I've said no to every single sponsor. I will say, if I said yes to every single sponsor that was willing to pay me to promote their product, we probably would have made about $5,000 or $6,000 through the course of the year on top of the AdSense. So we would have more than doubled our money. The individual offers that I received ranged anywhere from $300 to $1,000 on the high end, most of which being somewhere in the middle of that. But being so new to YouTube and wanting to make sure that my videos were clear and concise, I wasn't really comfortable taking on sponsorships that I didn't feel super strong about. I do think a art channel that's specifically focusing on marketing is a very niche situation. So getting the amount of viewership to make this a profitable channel is a little tricky, I think. One, you already have to be really into art, and then also looking to make it into your business for this to be a channel that's even viable to most people to want to watch. And I totally get that. If you're looking to make, say, an art YouTube channel in the future, I think, appealing to a more broad audience than, say, this marketing channel probably is the strategy for most working artists. But if this video hasn't made anything else clear, please like and subscribe, as I am not yet a rich YouTuber and could really use the charity. But if you actually find any of these art and marketing videos helpful, it does help us out a ton. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.